Welcome to the Fritz Pollard and ASAP Elite podcast. Today's guest was third-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1999. Following his legendary 13-year career, he shifted his focus to changing lives. Four-time Pro Bowler, two-time first-team All-Pro, and Super Bowl champion. From Bakersfield, California, the pride of Foothills High School. Allow me to introduce to you Mr. Joey Porter. What's going on, man?
Man, what's going on, big dog? Man, how are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. Well, before we really get into this, I gotta say this. So Joey, when you hear the name Lamar Woodley, Willie Williams, Levon Kirkland, Rod Woodson, what does that say to you?
Legendary brotherhood of some, Steelers. Them definitely come from the black and gold, but like those names, household names that I played with them guys. It's like in a fraternity, a different type of like fraternity I have with my Greek fraternity, but that fraternity to suit up in that black and gold.
Yeah, well, I will say this: those are all your teammates that we also interviewed, and so it is a privilege. Now, as you can see from behind me, I am a Cowboy fan, but I recognize greatness wherever it is, and so those names, and including today Joey Porter, those are names of greatness. And so I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to meet with us.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I definitely do. See, everybody got their background set up with all the enemies in the background. I don't have nothing in my background.
Hey.
Windows.
Yeah, it's all good, man. You don't even need a background.
Right.
Yeah, shit, that's what's up. Hey, so would you do our audience the honor of introducing yourself, explaining how you were introduced to football up until the time you decided to hang up the cleats?
Oh man, football fell into my life when I was a young kid. Playing it actually on a team and equipment and stuff was like that was 8th grade. Funny stories was I had those story of always being cut. I feel like not making a team. I didn't make my 7th grade, 8th grade flag football team. So we played in this league called Junior NFL in 8th grade. I played for the Miami Dolphins and had some good guys on the squad, man, and fell in love with it way before that, but actually put the pads on and play. It started then. And, I played junior high ball, and then I went to high school, and I had some great coaches in high school, real legendary high school coach, Ned Permenter at Foothill High. And then I started to learn a little more about football and what it takes to make a commitment to put team first, because he had all these different values of how he felt about football and how it collectively brought us together as a group. And we was at a real diverse school where it was Black, Mexicans, whites. I'm in California, so we have all ethnicities there. And football was the natural glue that brought everybody together. And I've been playing it ever since.
That's good stuff right there. That's definitely good stuff, and you're right, because I grew up in Riverside, California, and you definitely have all the ethnicities there, and it is definitely a melting pot, if you will, or a salad bowl, however you want to look at it. And so that's good stuff.
And they like that in Detroit.
You say Detroit?
Yeah, that's where I'm from. Yeah.
My buddy, my college roommate. So I just kind of stopped at high school. I didn't know how far you wanted me to go, because when you brought me in and was telling my story, I was like, okay, he did his background. He know about me. Everything. So
hey, that background was done in the 9th grade, Joey.
You did a great intro. So I didn't want to hear that again.
Yeah, no, hey, that background was due, but that was written in the 9th grade. Don't get it twisted. When I saw you, I knew who you were from like 20 feet away.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's what's up.
My man.
What's up. So like, my college roommate went to Cody.
Okay.
And so he was Cody College. So I feel like I know all Detroit, and I haven't even really been there. I've been there a few, but like I feel like I know McKenzie.
Yeah,
I know all the schools that he played against, because like I used to have the same conversation with Jerome Bettis. But yeah, my high school, my college roommate, Jerome Knox,
Okay.
Cody Common. That's my guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Now, since you've been out the league, or as a philanthropist, should I say, because before you got out the league, you were still, impactful in our communities and in our cultures. But what type of impact do you feel our present day culture has had on our communities? Even in the music, I remember Young Dolph last night. I think he was taken away from us.
Yesterday morning.
It's different. So go ahead.
It's tough. I mean, from when you're speaking about it from that standpoint, I mean, in certain communities, it's gonna be, they're gonna have their own set of rules and stuff like that, which I don't agree with. I was born in raised in those communities, as I've changed my way of thinking and way of living to where I'm not held down to those crazy ways of living, what we call the street code that you have to live by no more. No, that's not me. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm past the point of watching senseless killing and everybody act like they don't know what happened and stuff like that. I'm so far past that to where I'm the opposite. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do a bad crime around me.
No, and
I ain't into watching my people die and act like we don't know who did it, man. That's not it. I'm sorry. That's not it.
And we talked about that in our last interview when we talked with Andre Rising, right? We were talking about how, like myself, because I grew up in California, but I grew up when I was 12. I moved back to Dallas, where I was born, and grew up there in two different environments, but a lot of the same situation, if you will, especially with gangs and drugs and stuff like that in the neighborhoods. But the thing is the OGs in my neighborhood, like when I was in high school, they looked out for me. They didn't want me to get in trouble. They you know what I'm saying? And so the thing is that's one thing that I don't see a lot of today is the OGs looking out for the kids that's trying to do something.
It's changed. That being what it was, of the higher ups, OGs would point the athlete in the right direction. Like, hey man, get away from here. You don't do this. This ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? You play sports. You don't really get out anyway. Like, they easily, here, man, go that way. You know what I'm saying? And it was always good. You know what I'm saying? So when you see them, it was good to see them, but they was always give you some knowledge of, get away from this. This ain't it. Where to where now, even the California, man, where I'm from, Bakersfield, California, man, I'm watching my youngsters just like going down a path that's is suicidal. It's a no-win situation. And they're doing everything they can to make the situation worse. Like, they had this new thing where they're mocking everything. Like this stuff that I don't even understand how to become that. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect is going to, but like, it's a different time, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch your kids and make sure you know where they're at all the time, because this social media stuff, man, sometimes it's good, but sometimes it can put them in harm's way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a different era. It's a whole different era. You got to really
social media changed the game.
Yeah, it did. It did. It's tough.
Yeah. So that was my next question. It was about the difference between community now and community in the past decades. Pretty much when you grew up, I think in the late 70s, the early 80s, opposed to now. Like you guys mentioned with social media, even the way that they dress, and the unity. You get what I'm saying? What do you see a change? The biggest difference, and not just one aspect.
Well, from when we grew up, we was able, like, I grew up, you said the 70s, like, I was born in the late 70s.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, early
I wasn't going nowhere here.
I was like, wait, hold up.
Don't do me like that.
Man.
I got to move around in the 80s.
Hey, that's Wikipedia, man. I'm just playing with you.
But like the 80s for me, 80s was some of the best time, because it was just all about, being black. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you seen us, it was love. No matter where you was at, if you seen another brother, you showed him love. We was able to go everywhere in Bakersfield, in California, where I grew up. the sides didn't really matter whether you grew up on the east side, west side, or the country, or wherever. It didn't really matter because we all was family. Bakersfield so small to where it really wasn't no being outside of your neighborhood and stuff like that. It was just good being black. And it was in the 80s. Like everybody was going to the best swimming pools in the summers. All parks was good to go to, like cooking, and everything was just, and that lasted all the way to the early 90s.
Yeah.
And then, man, when it turned
hard.
Fast.
Yeah, because if you think, I mean, if you're from California, and in that time I was in California, we was breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? We was breakdancing, carrying our cardboards everywhere. You know.
Yeah, Beach Street Boogaloo was out. So it gave me something like that. That's what I'm saying. The culture was different. Like if you seen somebody, it was good. Like if someone was gonna jump off, man, you see the other dudes over there with they matching outfits on. They get to pull out their gloves and they about to you know, get to spinning on the ground.
You know what I'm saying? Because if we had beef, we can settle it. We can settle it on the cardboard. You know what I'm saying?
We had cobras.
So the 80s was like that, and then when the 90s got there, the real gangs have arrived. I mean, and then it went to another level in the 90s and the 2000s to where now, oh my goodness, it is the culture is different. You know what I mean? It's the, I don't know where the big guys, the OGs, or the ones that was controlling everybody, because it's like they don't have no control of nothing. Because then it got so far, they're scared of the young guys. The young guys got the power. Yeah. And they ain't listening to nobody.
Respect authority. They don't respect heritage. They don't respect none of that. You know what I'm saying?
That don't mean nothing.
Hey, I'll tell you what. The one in that room, dude. Well, he at school right now, but the one who lives rent free, he understands.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got to. Anything that comes out of this house, understand me. We gonna live one way, man. We gonna be respectful. We gonna do everything the right way. We ain't got no reason to be acting any other way. You know what I'm saying? Life's been good to us as a whole, so we're not about to act like we have to be anything different but yourself. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to put on for nobody. Be your best you. You know what I'm saying? All my kids know, like, you don't have to act a certain way to the public because you think you got to hold up to daddy. What dad was dad. Mm-hmm. I mean, all my kids are all different personalities of themselves, you know, and I always preach them to be the best them. Like, we're not followers by no means.
That's
you know what I mean? We ain't following nobody nowhere. We all leaders, and we gonna lead, if anything, and make sure the people you lead them in a positive way. So that's it, man. Like it's changed a lot in a lot of communities. Some got better. You know what I'm saying? But I can only speak so good about the one that I was raised in California because I was there and I seen the changes. And it's sad that the changes is went that way. But you know, that's the biggest time change I've seen.
Welcome to ASAP Elite, and thank you for tuning in. Our primary goal is focusing on specific life aspects that serves as a blueprint to progress. Mental health, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, community autonomy, cultural awareness, and so much more. Please hit the subscribe button on your way in and the like button on your way out. If you'd like to donate, you can utilize our PayPal or Cash App option listed below. Thank you for your support, and welcome to the ASAP Elite family.
One thing that I noticed growing up in the same community, just like yours in Bakersfield, was mom and pops, or even having people that look like us, or people that live within the community, owning the corner stores, owning the gas station. What is that changed majorly? You know, the people not even from there. What is the importance of entrepreneurship in our communities, in our culture?
Well, the simple fact of owning something that's yours and is valuable in the community is branded in its own way. And it means something because, you know, just by nature, if I got $100 and you got a shop, somebody else got a shop, I'm gonna come spend my $100 with you.
Yep.
Just off the dribble.
Yep.
just off the dribble, I'm gonna come spend with you just because you look like me.
Yeah.
And you know, I got to spend it somewhere, and I'm gonna hope you ain't gonna hit me over the head for the same carton of milk or whatever. It's just in my nature, me thinking you putting these stores in the neighborhood because you're gonna look out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got me already. You know what I'm saying? So that was what I was raised on. Like, you always supported the people in the neighborhood that started their own thing. Who didn't have a candy lady in the neighborhood?
Man.
That made ices and cupcakes and the candies and all that, right?
Hey, look, that might have been a Cali thing, though. You know,
Come on, man. But the store ain't open. You can't go spend $2 in food stamp at any time of the day.
Yep.
What a store, the street store that's down the street, they open.
Yep. Our lady had Frito pie. Yeah, she had Frito pie. I was like,
man, they taking the 30 cent, they taking the 50 cent. Yeah. Everything is good. You know what I'm saying? And it started from little stores like that to bigger stores. And we've always supported that.
Definitely. We don't get enough support for supporting each other. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. We got to get to that. And I think that social media, the way they branded, I'm easy for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard for me to fall for that one. I'm a fall for that one 98% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go mess with us. Like when you see me in there and you hollered at me, that was just off the strength, and not to make it seem like that, but I get hit up a lot for a lot of different things, and I easily walk by a lot of people, but I don't do it to my people. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's 100 right there.
You know what it took for me to walk up to you? I felt it. I can feel it in here. That's where growing up in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That's where that kicked out. Inkster. You know what I'm saying? You only get one shot. Do not get your chance to blow it.
Cleats sitting right there on display.
Man.
Like, I was like, these nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I can see my son in some of these. So he has some good eye candy sitting right there too.
We got them coming. That's what's up. For sure. Hey, since we this whole conversation so far has been a magnifying glass or illustration of how you feel about community and our culture. Speaking of that, it all led up to the Jasmine Nyree Center. Can you let our audience know the significance of your community center?
So the Jasmine Nyree Community Center comes from my wife starting Jasmine schools in California over 15 years ago. My daughter Jasmine, she's 22 now, and she's autistic. And we started a school for her way back when she was in elementary. She's nonverbal autistic. Like, she was going to schools and they would always say, you gotta come and pick her back up. We drop her off at 8 and we gotta pick her up before 12. And we was always trying to figure out, where do you take a special need child for the working parent? I mean, from full 9 to 5. And when we were living at the time, it just wasn't a lot. I mean, it wasn't a lot of places that you can go and take them. Yeah. Take your kid or nephew, niece, whatever the relationship is, to these places where you can go to work. The attention span for some of these places was short. So my wife was like, maybe we got to find somewhere we could take Jazzy if we got to build a school ourselves. And she went back to school, started getting her certifications and getting all the way involved on what she needs to do to provide a better service for my daughter when we go to school and for people that's going through the same thing that we're going through. And she did it. She completed it. Like, she went after it hard, and she talked about it and made it happen. And she ended up opening our first school from pre-K to 6th grade. And then she was like, we got to do something different from that. And then we went to junior high, and then she opened one from junior high all the way to high school. And now they're out of high school. She's like, okay, now where do they go now? And it never stops with the process of, because once you have a special need kid, you have a special need kid forever. You know what I mean? And it's always thinking of, what are you going to do with them? How can you keep their day as a normal day? You can't just sit back and sit in a room all day. Like, you got to get out. You got to be active. You got to and she created in Pittsburgh to have one for adults. So now to Jasmine Nyree School, a house in Pittsburgh is, we bought the old Holy Innocent school. It was an old Catholic school. And we got everything besides the church. So where the priests live, we turned that into the administration building. One of the schools we turned into the learning center, the Philip Burdine Learning Center. We have our basketball gym and 12 classrooms in there. So that's the after school programs. And for the special need, adults will come from 7:30 to 2:30. It'll be for special need adults. This is where they'll come, go to class, have their lunch, and have different curriculums for them. And then when they leave at 3, Langley lets out about 600 kids. So their kids come over for after school program, and they have different after school programs for them. We also feed them, and we have a basketball gym. And that's the first 2 buildings that we got up running. But then they have a big building that was a junior high building that we're going to make into the community center, and where the nuns covenant stage, like we're going to make that, it's like 40 apartments for special need adults living and veterans. So it's a big project, man, and my wife been working on it. We've been both working on it for the last couple of years, and I'm just so proud of, excited about what she's been able to accomplish. And it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good for the community. It's going to wake up a lot of people for the need that we have for this special need community, and bringing that into the community of Sheridan is going to be huge.
No, that's good stuff right there. And one of the things that I love about it is that what we're hearing from you is action, right? You saw a need and you took action, and then you expanded off of the action that you took for your own child to help everybody, because you realize, I'm not the only one that has a child like this.
Right.
I'm not the only one going through this, and I appreciate that, because when you talk about autistic, I have an autistic child, and he's very high functioning, but there are definitely some things that we have to work a lot harder to be able to stay up. And so when I see people that take the stage that you've been able to utilize and really make a difference with it, that's big time.
55. Yes, sir, 55. Well, hey,
Yes, sir.
now, one thing I did read, and you touched on it slightly, once they turn 21, the services dwindle dramatically, in one of your articles. Let's take this opportunity to shed light on that issue. What exactly changes for us that aren't aware,
Well, far as where they go, what's their after you get out of the 21 and you have nowhere to go, what do you do for the normal activity of a special need adult for the normal activity curriculum? If they don't have any type of services that's bringing them outside the house, what is going to be their day-to-day activity? We know you can't just sit and be stagnant and just let days stack on top of each other. You can't sit there and watch TV, eat, go to sleep, and do that over and over. You're doing that, nobody's getting anything out of it. So I'm like, what is their normal day activities? So what we're going to offer is you're getting out the house, you're coming to be around special need adults is just like yourself, and you're going to be treated the same. You're not going to be in a situation to where you feel like somebody's staring, or you feeling like you don't have what you need to your disposal, because we're going to be there for you. You're going to come to a place where you're going to feel comfortable, because we're making it as comfortable as I can for my daughter. Mm-hmm. So this is what we have in mind. We're making it comfortable for everybody else that's coming. Mm-hmm. Everybody's have the same love that I'm putting in for my daughter is for everybody else that's coming in there, because she's going to be an active member of the school every day. It's been tough for her since she hasn't had school. To sit at home and go basically from the living room to her room, and we make ride on the golf cart and do several stuff, and she go out with my sister and hit some stores like that. But that's not an everyday mapped out schedule, And I can see, like, when she's going to school on her everyday schedule is different. She get a chance to go to school get acclimated to her friends. You know, she sit in the same bus when she go to bus in the same seat. She has a routine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you took the routine away, and it's a new routine.
Socializing.
Getting out as much. You know what I mean? And it's everybody's different. You know what I mean? But like when you have a special need kid, you kind of know. You know what I mean? It's tough to explain it to somebody because it's a journey for people that really have special need kids because you know what they need and when they need it. You know what I mean? And you're trying to accommodate the best way you can. So with us knowing that, it's going to be a great. It's just like an extension. It's them going to college because the schooling never stops. You know what I mean? Just giving them a chance to keep motor skills functioning at an all-time level, challenge them to every day for them to try and be the best them they can be for that day. Because anybody knows that if you have any special need kids on the spectrum, some days it's tougher than others.
We just found out in the last year and a half that my son was on the spectrum. And of course, you know, growing up, you see these as he grows up, you see these things that are, you know, like I said, he's high functioning. So there were certain things that would just like kind of make you think a little bit like, okay. And so for me, it became, I'm sure the same way as you is we had, you know, the testing done because we want to be able to provide him with everything that he needs to be successful. And so, you know, that's just, you know, it's something that's near and dear to me, and it's always been because I actually have my roommate from college. His son is his son is autistic as well, and you know, he is. I won't say he's mute, but his communication is minimal, and but the thing is or nonverbal. I'm sorry, nonverbal. But his communication is minimal. But you know, just that I've kind of leaned on him just to ask, you know, questions on, you know, because we want to make sure our family's prepared for it too. So yeah, if this right here was right on time for me.
That's good because like I was trying to explain earlier, in the special need community, you know, it's all different variables of it. You know what I mean? Like you said, high function, low function, nonverbal. My daughter's low functioning and nonverbal. So for her, it's her communication is by, you have to know Jazzy to know how she communicates. So it's different, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what makes it tough and unique about the things that we're doing over there with the Jasmine house and at the campus and why we're doing it. You know what I mean? It's really a need out there for people. Because me and my wife always talk about, it's like, what would we do if we were like, get to our older age at 60 or 70 and Jazzy's at that age and she just was living at home, how would you get her around and still to the toilet when we can barely get ourselves around? I mean, where do they go? Yeah. Who's looking out for the special need community then? You know what I mean? So it's some stuff that as she get older, my wife keep stretching it, the goal, the end zone line. And I don't know how far we're going because we go fight to the end to make sure Jazzy's good. So we're going to bring the whole special need community with us as we on this journey. So as we figure it out, we all go figure it out together.
One thing that the community center is offering, classes on literacy and mathematic proficiency. One thing that is paramount is financial literacy basics. Is there any program in place to fulfill this cultural void?
Yeah, we definitely have programs to fulfill that void. Also, a lot of people that we hired for the program at the Jasmine Nyree is a lot of teachers, a lot of educators from all fields, not just working with special needs. They're coming from regular schools to now work in the special need fields. So we have educators at all levels, and that's going to be key. That's going to be key for us to serve that in the after school program. When the kids come over there from Langley from 3 to 7, the after school program will be helping them with homework, helping them with all of it. You know what I mean? Math, science, reading, computer lab. We have a library, a lot of stuff just to offer things that you didn't get at school. You know, maybe maybe the circumstances at school that day, just you couldn't get it done, you couldn't pay attention. But when you leave there, we have we have a partnership with Langley. Like, so we're going to know what the kid needs when he comes over before he kind of sneaks into the basketball gym or go down there and play basketball or go to one of the hangout rooms and go play pool. That we know you didn't get that homework assignment in yesterday. And, you know, every situation may be different. You might not have that parent at home that can help you with the homework. So I know how it is. Like, you don't have that parent at home that can help you with the homework and you already didn't really know how to do it. What's going to happen? It ain't going to get done. You know what I'm saying? But if you got somebody, soon as you get out of school, that's going to help you with it, and it's like, man, as soon as we finish, knock this out, you go play basketball, get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? You go be like, okay, let's hurry up and knock this homework out. You know what I'm saying? Get down there to the gym or whatever, or to go do what it is I want to do to hang out with the kids after school. But like, it's all type of incentives that we're going to be trying to work with the kids to try and just create that mind to keep working, to always try to be better.
Where can our audience find information on your school? And most of all, how can our audience go about donating?
www.jasminenyreecampus.com. And that's www.jasminenyreecampus.com.
Right there on the bottom of the screen, y'all. Well, thank you. Hey, before we get out of here, we often leave by asking our guests to leave words of affirmation, you know, for people who we just got done speaking about. You know, the floor is yours.
You know, words of affirmation. So for me, the way I live now, and I wish I'd been living like this my whole life, it's like you get wiser as you get older. You know, man, just love your neighbor, man, and always try and be the best you can be, man. I left so much anger behind when I started living that way of wanting to see me and my people, just everybody around me, do better. You know what I mean? So to want somebody to do better, you naturally ask to do better. So I can't ask nobody to do something that I'm not willing to do. So I live my life as trying to do better every day. So it's not asking a high expectation when I expect everybody else to try to do better, especially with all the craziness going on now. If we live by that, man, we might have some of this COVID stuff is over with. You know what I mean? Because there was a time where I was scared to be outside when it was going crazy for a minute. Sure. And that's saying a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? Not wanting to be outside, but you know, trying to be better and do better is what I'm trying to live by now.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. We really appreciate it. Hey, man, anytime we can have you on, you know.
Definitely, man.
Anytime, any agenda, anything you need to push, man, please, our home, you know, our platform is your home, brother. And Joey, man, hey, he was a dog, man. He was a dog, man. I have never said that about anyone on this show yet.
Well, and I also want to say, not only do I want to thank you, I want to thank your wife, because it took it, you know what I'm saying? You guys worked together as a team, and she continued to progress this thing on, and you know, that's the type of helpmate that God talks about, right? You know what I'm saying? You guys work this thing, and she didn't go into this knowing what she was gonna do. She just continued to progress on, and the thing is you guys took the community with you, and that right there is definitely something I have nothing but respect for. So not respect to you, definitely, but also big respect to your wife. I know what it's like to have an amazing wife that is the backbone of the family and all that. So yeah, just wanted to make sure we shouted her out, because that's big what she's doing.
Definitely.
Man, as you know, as I know, I sure appreciate it. That will go a long way in the household over here. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Joey. Hey, be reaching out to you soon, brother. Hey, have a fabulous day. Yeah.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, when you think of a linebacker who embodied everything, you know what I'm saying? It was Joey Porter, man. You know,
such a beast. Like I said, I was a Cowboy fan, but like greatness, I'm not a hater. You know what I'm saying? and greatness, man. It was up and all through that Pittsburgh Steelers team. You know, so yeah.
It was only two
absolute.
It was only two players that I felt that way about. That if I saw him, you know what I'm saying, I'd just give him and keep moving. It's Joey Porter and James Harrison. Yes, sir. It just so happened, black and yellow. Hey, before we get out of here, we want to thank you for tuning in. Hey, please do your due diligence so we can continue this going. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and that like button. For sure.
Right,
Y'all know what it is.
Just go on and touch it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thank you.
All
so
it takes
much.
is a.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, not even a thought. It should be just a non-voluntary. Yeah, you know.
Voluntary action, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, before we get out of here, well, like I say, hey, until next week, we'll see you later on ASAP Elite. Oh, man. Welcome to ASAP Elite, and thank you for tuning in. Our primary goal is focusing on specific life aspects that serves as a blueprint to progress. Mental health, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, community autonomy, cultural awareness, and so much more. Please hit the subscribe button on your way in and the like button on your way out. If you'd like to donate, you can utilize our PayPal or Cash App option listed below. Thank you for your support and welcome to the ASAP Elite family.